In the quiet depths of the forest, life moves at its own slow pace. The sun rises gently, spreading golden light across the trees, and the sound of birds fills the air like music. Among the many animals that live here, there is a large brown bear, strong and powerful, but also gentle in its own way. This bear has lived in the forest for many years. It knows every river, every hidden path, and every tree that offers shade. But even the strongest of animals sometimes face problems they cannot solve on their own. One morning, this bear was not behaving like usual. Instead of walking with strength and confidence, it moved slowly, its heavy body dragging as if something was troubling it deeply. On its shoulder, hidden under thick fur, there was a swelling, a painful abscess. For days the bear had been scratching it against trees, rubbing it on rocks, trying to relieve the pressure and the pain. But the swelling only grew larger, more painful and more dangerous. Each step became harder. The bear spent more time lying down instead of searching for food. Animals in the wild rarely show weakness, because weakness can be dangerous. But this bear could no longer hide it. Its breathing was heavier, its movements were slow. Something had to be done, or the bear's life could be at risk. And then, something surprising happened. As the bear sat near a fallen log, too tired to move much, a small bird fluttered down from the branches above. It was a forest bird, light and delicate but very observant. Birds often notice things others do not. This little bird saw the swelling on the bear's shoulder. Instead of flying away in fear, it landed closer. The bear turned its head slowly. Its golden brown eyes looked at the bird, but it did not chase it away. Perhaps the bear was too tired. Or perhaps deep inside, it knew the bird meant no harm. The bird hopped closer and tilted its head, examining the swollen area. It gently pecked at the fur around the abscess. The bear gave a low growl, not out of anger but out of pain. Yet it did not strike. It stayed still. And then, with careful movements, the bird began to peck at the abscess itself. The swollen area broke slightly, and fluid began to come out. The pressure that had been building inside for days was finally being released. The bear let out a deep, heavy sigh, as if the weight of suffering was lifting. The bird continued its work, cleaning and pecking gently, removing what it could. Each time the abscess drained a little more, the bear's body relaxed. Its eyes slowly closed, and for the first time in many days, it felt a sense of relief. It was an extraordinary moment, the great beast of the forest allowing a tiny bird to help heal it. Two creatures from completely different worlds, yet connected in that moment of trust and survival. For the next few days, the bear seemed better. It walked more freely. It searched for food again. It even lay under the shade of trees, resting peacefully, licking its wound and letting it dry. The bird sometimes returned, checking the wound, as if it had taken responsibility for its forest friend. But nature is not always simple. An abscess can bring relief when it opens, but it can also bring infection. After a short time, the bear began to feel unwell again. Its movements slowed. Its head hung low. It did not roar or move with the same power as before. The fever started quietly, but soon it grew stronger. The bear became lazy, lying down more often. Its body was hot and it refused to eat. The once powerful animal looked weak, and this worried the forest rangers who had been observing it from a distance. These rangers care for the wild animals. They protect them, not just from hunters but also from dangers like sickness. When they noticed the bear's strange behavior, they decided it was time to act. With careful planning, they prepared to help the animal without harming it. One morning, as the bear lay in the grass, breathing heavily, the rangers approached carefully. From a safe distance, they used a tranquilizer dart to gently put the bear to sleep. The dart entered softly, and within minutes the bear's heavy body lay still in deep sleep, safe and calm. The rangers moved in quickly. They checked the wound on the bear's shoulder. The abscess had drained, but infection had set in. The fever was serious, and without treatment the bear might not survive. They placed the bear carefully on a stretcher, a huge effort for so many people, and then loaded it onto a truck. For the first time in its life, the great bear was leaving the forest and heading toward a hospital designed for wild animals. At the wildlife hospital, doctors and caretakers immediately began their work. They cleaned the wound properly, removing all the infection. They gave the bear medicines, antibiotics, and fluids to bring down the fever. They checked its heartbeat, its breathing, and every part of its health. For days, the bear stayed in care. It slept most of the time, while the doctors and nurses worked around it. Slowly, the fever began to go down. The infection cleared. The bear's strength started to return. It was strange to see such a mighty animal lying quietly on a bed, surrounded by humans. But the care and dedication of the rangers and doctors made all the difference. Step by step, the bear recovered. After several weeks, the day finally came. The bear was strong again. Its fur looked healthy. Its eyes were bright. The wound had healed completely. It was time to go home. The rangers loaded the bear back into the truck and drove it deep into the forest, back to the place where it belonged. When the doors opened, the bear stepped out slowly at first, sniffing the air, recognizing the familiar smell of trees, earth, and freedom. Then, with a powerful stride, it walked forward into the wild once again. The forest had its giant back and life continued. Somewhere in the trees, the little bird that once helped the bear was still living. Perhaps it saw the bear's return, perhaps not. But the bond between them, even if only for a short time, had already written a story that the forest would remember forever. This is not just a story of survival. It is a story of trust, of how even the smallest creature can play a role in the life of the mightiest. And it is also a story of how humans, when working with care and respect, can protect the wild world instead of destroying it. The bear's life was saved not by its strength, but by the help it received first from a bird and then from the rangers who never gave up on it. And now, as the bear roams free once more, the forest is filled with balance again. The rivers flow, the wind blows gently, and the story of the bird and the bear becomes another whispered tale of nature's wonders. And so, the bear returned to its forest home stronger than before, carrying a story of pain, healing, and unexpected friendship. The little bird flew on, the rangers continued their watch, and the wild once again breathed in peace. Nature has so many hidden tales like this one, moments of struggle, survival, and miracles that remind us how deeply all lives are connected. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more untold wonders of the wild, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you closer to the secret lives of animals, where every day is a new adventure waiting to be told. Stay with us, because the forest always has another story to whisper.